different because of the sister and brotherhood thing.
You don't have...
That is nice, right?
You don't have a sister?
No, you're my sister right here.
Oh, now we are sister.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm sister brothers.
You said you're a sister to many.
I'm a sister to one and a sister to many.
Indeed.
Yes.
Sister to Sesmo as well. Thank you so much for honoring the invite and being here. So first things first, of course, you... Specifically, what do you mean by the word creative?
So creatives are people who are able to come up with concepts or create. It's what in other contexts people call them innovators. But creative specifically to my understanding is someone who has that ability to concepts.
Indeed.
But for our context in Filamu Juani, a creative is someone who has the filmmaking background, and they are versatile enough to be a content creator, filmmaker. I don't know, the guys behind the cameras today, some of them, I can see their faces, have been part of the program. So yeah, that's a creator in the context of Filamu Juani.
All right. Not in the context of Filamu Juani, we have other creators that you've seen online and across the internet. How will we specify that these now are creators as well? There are many that are doing different things, but they also term themselves as creators. So how will we other creators?
All right, so I'd say digital creators are people who are utilizing the digital spaces to push an agenda or to push a narrative.
Amazing.
Whether it is for fun, entertainment, education, or whatever it is, they're utilizing the platform online to push who are not online. I'd say even someone who's able to come up with a fashion piece is a creator. Someone who is able to come up with, I don't know, like some of the branding I can see around here, or art that is drawn on paper, dancing and coming up with routines, those are creators. So the difference between someone who is digital and just a creator is the fact that this person has used, a digital creator has used a digital platform to push or showcase their creations to the world. Yeah, so it's not very limiting to either whether you're in education or entertainment. So an agenda.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And many times the digital creators or creatives speak to themselves. Have you ever found yourself in those particular situations when you're going home? You just talk to yourself and say that this one I'll nail it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's a thing because I don't know, I feel like we have a connection. Nasia pia alikuwa na speak to himself and speak to things until they come to pass. There's a lot of...
But he wasn't speaking to himself?
He was speaking to things and they were coming to life. Like he would say, let there be day and let there be, you know, night, and it would happen. So one of the biggest things before you create is your ability to use your words. You see, if it is in your head and you're not able to speak it out, most of the time it doesn't happen. That's why creators are always talking to themselves. Because they're speaking so that those things can come to life. Yeah, watuite tumechizi, but tuko na very brilliant ideas out there.
Indeed. So is this raising a voice towards the heart of the society to really understand how empowerment comes in. You mentioned earlier about the community empowerment. Now, even as we delve now into the digital economy and understanding the digital creation right in the Republic, so we are having this society that wants really to create, to embrace this particular economy. To come in along to really create an impact for themselves, or rather to make sure that their creation is seen by many. No, kuna ile time unatengeneza content but you only have 1 likes, and you really for this space really. So for the community to understand the empowerment that comes along with it. So how do we shape a society? How do we raise a voice to the heart of the society?
For that, I would say, first of all, the journey of becoming a creator is not one that is easy, and it's not, for me, I relate the journey of a creator to the journey of an innovator, because people like Da Vinci, when they were coming up with their concepts, they were even stoned and called crazy for their ideation. So one thing, if you as a person you want to become a creator, you need to have that willpower to surpass what society expects of you. So that's the first thing I would urge not soft, and it's not like medicine where, you know, after 7 years of practice you become a master. There are people who are practicing it in 2-3 months, they blow up viral and they become big. There are others who are taking like 5 years before they get there. So having the ability to, you know, push yourself. But when it comes to community now and what we as a society can do to uphold that, I would say we need to create spaces that can empower this youth. We need to create policies that can be able to be empowering and not stifling. To taking up journeys of creation. Programs like ours at Filamu, training the youth with the skills, the content creation skills they need, creating centers such as open air centers where people can come and content create, because that is coming in big and it's becoming a buzzword everywhere. The predictions are it is the future of especially our Kenyan economy, because more and more people are being able to make money out of it. So creating systems and structures, and these systems are not hard things. Like for example, our local spaces that used to be made for football, the CDF spaces, they have space for football. Now let them get innovative and think, how can we make it a nice space for people who want to become creators. So that's one way the content creator who's your neighbor. Asikuwa hapo ana content create na wewe hata umfollow. Una follow too. You're only following the internationals. Yes, it's good to follow the internationals. You get to learn a thing or two from them. But who is the most relatable? It is that content creator who is having, even in our churches, in our forums as communities, let's uphold. If there is an event and you have an MC na anakuanga online, support that particular MC within your community to be the one to run your wedding and all those activities. So I think that's one way the community can support.
All right. So you speak so well about policies and the systems that have been put in place. Earlier on, we had a know-how that so many Kenyans are into this particular economy to really embrace this in the best way possible. So do you think there are policies that have been made so far that are making community enlightened towards the digital impact?
I would say there's some policies that have been put in place, and the government, when we look at what structures have been put even before, there are those ones that are a bit more accommodative. You can see them put in the effort, but I think a month ago or and someone from the ICT department came in and community with hubs, giving laptops and computers. So I asked him, how is this not public knowledge? So maybe what I have realized in terms of like the government policies and what they're doing is they could be doing it, but are they taking time to do public awareness? Because when he highlighted what they're doing in Makadara and we went to see some of the spaces, some were okay, some still needed work, to be honest. Information, you made a hub, it has computers, but the community is not aware that this is somewhere they can plug in. So I think that's the challenge. It's not the ultimate lack of policy. There's also I don't know how they implement without creating a budget to do public act. Today I'm selling a pen, I make hadi unaweza rub na ni pen alafu niweke hapa chini. What have I done?
Nothing.
Nobody will know about the existence of my product. So I feel like there's that gap within the policy systems and how they approach creation of policies. They do make really good ones sometimes, but once they make them, they put them under the table. Us so as the youth, we don't know that they exist. And then when we go to forums and we tell them, you're not doing this for us, they now bring it up and they're like, see, we made this pen for you guys. We're like, yeah. how comes from 2010 the public is not aware that we have such resources? Go and start the website. I'm not finding it so openly. It's for the government and the same way they took time to create the policy. They take time to do media to us, do YouTube, pay influencers to speak.
I to touch on the CDF, because it's really an uproar right in the Republic to those zinaenda wapi, and then they're used not in accordance to how they're supposed. So some are saying that inafai ondolewe because it's not supportive and it's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So and not just CDF imesaidia wengi sana in terms of the bursaries and many things.
Yeah.
But as we speak about the systems, to make the society getting engaged towards all this that you have and the achievements that so far, those wafikie wanajamii sana.
Yes.
So there's this system. One of course of the system is Filamu Juani coming in as a system of, is it education or information?
For us, we are education and empowerment of youths. Yeah.
So for that particular system to work, you need can come along and adjust to this.
Yes.
So what other systems have you perhaps created to really help the society embrace this 100%? Because they'll say that hapana, easy ni kitu ambayo itapita, and we do not want it. Watu wanataka tu selecting the youths, but how can we create a sustainable system for the society really to embrace all that we do?
Yeah, I like the way you've brought in that point of while there's a lot that is going on in our relationship as a country to our government, we have a bigger cause of what can you do as, let's say we are not able to go through to the government, what can Happy and wherever she is do to help the community? Because at the end of the day, we need these jobs, we need this talent, we need these things to work. So, and that's why I say NGO and private sector come in a huge way, because they're NGO-based programs that are able to support the community. At the end of the day, we want Kenya to work, we want Africa to work. So one of the things that we are part of is called Sanara. Sanara is a program that has come to Kenya to empower the creatives, and it's empowering creatives through training, upskilling, and entrepreneurship training also, and also funding. So what we do in Sanara, we are also a partner where we train in the film ecosystem. So for us, it's been a journey as Filamu of getting how does the community trust us? How does the community believe that when we take their youths, we are going to actually cause impact? It's because we have been tested and the result is, for example, me. Happy was an alumni of the program. I can see 2 or 3 people who are alumni of the program. And so many systems, when we walk in, someone will be like, hi, I was an alumni of Filamu Juani. So within the community, what that reflects is people are seeing the byproduct of our training, meaning someone was staying home when they joined our program. Now they're being able to make some money, they're being able to explore their talents. So I think that's the number one thing people need to do. You need to ensure your product is tested and there's fruits. Don't just have a tree that's not bearing fruits. The fruits will speak louder for you, because now for us, when we are doing call outs, it's becoming alumni are becoming our ambassadors. They are the ones who are telling people, I went through that program, I got practical training, I got my first internship through that program, and now I'm progressing, I have a job. Or they are doing so well in the film sector, people asking them, hey, you I got a scholarship at Filamu, and that's why I got the technical skill. So that's how I say, number one, ensure that you're able to have fruits or your projects bear fruits. Don't be so big on doing many projects that are not bearing fruits. Those same youths you're doing many programs with, they'll come back. And now we are Gen Zs, me being one of them. We'll call you out.
Oh, you're a Gen Z?
I am a Gen Z. And that's why I enjoy doing this, because I understand the pain of, you know, my fellow colleagues, people we went to campus with, people who we were told fanya degree utapata kazi, and it's been 5 years and some of them have not been able to get jobs. So and so who sat next to me and up to date imebidi uze gikomba because there's no job and you have to eat. So that's one. So more to what Sanara is doing, it's a huger ecosystem. Playing in the music space, we have people playing in the fashion space, we have people who are playing in the business space. So it's a consortium of different people, and then we have people who are funding. So after, the biggest problem is usually I have the skills, I have the talent, mimi naweza kuwa a very good photographer, hata naombanga my friend's camera and I do good work. But when I'm trying to do the cost analysis, if I could access a camera, I could move faster. So that's why within this ecosystem, we also have funding as part of it, where after training, you're able to access some of these materials. So I'll just mention just a few people. So we have Sandbox Ubuntu, who are training people in to us. We need to become innovative and create those jobs for other people. We have Hiva Fund, who are supporting a lot of the creatives after training through loans, so that you're able to start your studios, you're able to start your fashion industry activities, your music studios, and you start creating. Then we have Baraza Media Lab, who are creating creative spaces. Remember I mentioned it's important we have creative spaces where I can come in, probably pay 500 and create my content, or even, you know, have it subsidized. I have access to like the ring lights and everything, and I can be able to create my content. So we have Baraza Media Lab, who are supporting people with co-working spaces. And then we also have Go Down. Go Down are in the policy space. Because again, if we want a sector to work, we need to ensure that policies are favorable. So they're doing research, and they're going to be that policies are made to support the creative and the digital economy. Because all these people we're training, their first businesses are going to be online. Because they're not and compete with the existing people. But it will be easy for them to use the online platforms to push, for example, a fashion designer. If you are starting, I would recommend, once you have the capital, go online, show people your products. That's where your market is. So Go Down is going to be working with the government and private and NGO sector to ensure we have favorable policies that will support the growth of the creative economy. So that's what we are doing within the Sanara ecosystem.
Indeed, of course, which is perfect to the society, and they embracing it. No, how would you say that are they taking it in, that the society, you know, because you mentioned something about the youths, and then the Gen Zs, of course, they're living maybe with their parents. Are their parents embracing this?
It's been a journey, of course. I within the training of Filamu, there's so many heartbreaking stories, but those parents come back and they say, hey, you, thank you for they come with, they're like, what do you mean want to do film? What do you want, what film? But after the success stories, the parents now feel proud. They're like, actually, what you guys are doing is I didn't believe in my child, so I was not paying the school fees. You gave them a scholarship, and now they're doing good. The parents end up being the investors.
You know, I thought when you're saying at breaking ni ile the parent is not capable, is not able financially, then says that Filamu is here, you know, can assist my child because it's above all passion and many other things. But you mentioned about the ages and the age gap that you administer in that. Is it only the youths in the society, ama pia kama mzee ni creative hivi unaweza muonyesha angle
fund a program that would support beyond that, but our goal is pillared to the stifling lack of jobs for youths. We are trying to empower the youths more. So for us, the cut getting the youth. I know it's age and you feel like you are creative, but our pillar is mostly around, we want this more youths to create jobs for themselves. Yeah.
And creating jobs for themselves as well. That is why we're here.
Yes.
Now the society has learned, the society has embraced all that you're doing, and feels like Enyewe Sanara and Filamu, you know, are working in handy to really assist us. So how will now you help the youths really understand that this is how I create my business? You mentioned something about online adverts. If you're creating your content, you need to pour it out there so that people can see it. Now to the question on self-employment.
Yes.
As I have the talent, I have the ability to do this. But now sasa hapo kwa kujiemploy ndio inakuwa tatizo. I just need a foundation, I just need an organization, a company to really give me that. So how will they really employ themselves?
Okay, so the beauty and why personally as a youth, not just as a member of Filamu, as happy why I love Sanara and I'm always speaking about it everywhere I go, is I like the thought process behind how it was built. So they chose people to train and they also chose people to support these youths who've been trained. Where can they start their businesses? So there are people within the ecosystem, for example, such as Wowzy. Wowzy are supporting creatives who want to become creators, like content creators. So they have very nice trainings where they teach you how to, you know, kickstart your journey as a youth who wants to be self-employed. Box Ubuntu, who are utilizing this particular space to teach you on entrepreneurship. We understand the call to self-employment is a heavy one because again our 844 was not very keen on pushing get employed, sindio. But now we've found ourselves with a crisis where we have to become employers. So those are some of the soft skills through short programs that are not taking more than 3 months that we have within Sanara, Sandbox, Wowzy, JGIP. They are teaching you how to, and Ink Coaching, they are teaching you how to be able to think like an entrepreneur. And also now, after all this, we have people like Hiva Fund, who if you have an idea that can create job for yourself and other people, they have loans that are 9% in this economy on a reducing balance. Those are the opportunities that we want them to access these things, and then they're able to create employment and push it within the digital space.
So if it's not operating, managing, if it's not all this, what would you have done perhaps?
If I was not, sorry?
If you aren't in this space.
If I was not in this space.
What else would you have done?
I would have still been in the impact. I'm big on impact work for youth. Even the I have a failure story of trying to start a brand that was empowering visual artists. So my friends and I, when we finished campus, we were on fire. We told ourselves, we don't want to get employed. We're going to start an impact business. And then we got in there and we started Unboxed Africa together, and it was a headache. It's not easy to run a business.
When you're saying about impact,
yeah, so it was still an impact business. We were supporting creatives who drove in Vanga, and then so that would still be the space I would be in.
So when you speak about impact, of course I'm seeing Newton. That is also part of your impact.
Sorry?
All right, no problem. So we're going to highlight now the betterment of the talent and embracing really how the government assist the community, such as a foundation as this, to really understand incorporating the technology and the economy in the best way possible. So don't go too far. You're watching The Morning Drift.
mbali na Manjoro. Kumbuka hapa ndipo unajifunza mambo mengi kuhusu ukulima. Kilimo ni uti wa mgongo wa nchi, na ukiwa na Njoro unajifunza. Kumbuka, angalia mwenyewe. Tunakuambia ukitaka kujua tips za ukulima, ungana na sisi kwenye Lookup TV. Every Sunday unatukuta pale saa 10, tunakuonesha kuhusu ukulima. Ukulima wa mimea, ukulima wa ng'ombe, ukulima wa kuku, ukulima wa mbuzi, na yote ambayo yanahusiana na ukulima. Kumbuka nini? Kipindi ni Ukulima ni Mali.
Feeling like unwinding and calming your nerves down after a long week? I'm Nick Akala. Join me on the Nakala Report this coming Friday and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Lookup TV. At Nakala Report, we turn the insanity into sanity and sanity into insanity.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
If you want to have a proper outlook of the economy, then you have to speak to the wheels and gears of the integral businesses in the country.
And I want to be able to make the youths and everybody coming up in Kenya know that this is here locally.
Men and women in the thick of the bust of markets rising and falling, fighting to make their business decisions stick.
I've always lived in my career that I can never be late.
You need to train by yourself. You need to practice by yourself. Then from there you can compose yourself and give kind of services like this.
On season 2 of the Captain's Arena, we seek the inside of the minds, predict the shift in the markets, get inspiration to start and make sense of it all.
Just watch what everybody else is doing and just make sure you're giving back to the society.
Oof. This is the Captain's Arena.
All right, welcome back. 49 minutes past the top of the hour. You're watching the Morning Drift at Lookup Television. We are embracing the digital economy and talent right here on the globe. And of course, even as we delve to that matter, you're mentioning something about the digital economy and the integration and how can we incorporate that to the small enterprises?
Yes. So I think we have everyone is on their phone, even TV spaces. We've been forced to move to the YouTube and digital spaces, and we're seeing more and more businesses utilizing the digital economy to push them. That is very important in being able to push yourself is ability to content create, something that we teach here at our training. So I think why there's that devolution is advertising is not the same way it used to be. You don't, okay, I wouldn't say you don't have to, because the big brands still have to. But when you're a small business, you don't have to think about advertising your product, for example, on like a billboard, while majority of the consumption is happening on a digital platform. Opportunities for people are even selling their mayais online. Have your eggs, and then you have to work, you know, within your community to sell your eggs. But now you can decide, I'm going to become an egg plug online, where after I harvest my eggs, I to people. So these are some of the digital economy has really come to empower both creatives and also small businesses, because creatives get opportunities by content creating and highlighting brands, and also brands access their market through either marketing themselves or utilizing platforms that have content creators to push. So I think the digital aspect of the creative economy has really revolutionized. You also how the US and China story went before both governments could agree on the way forward around tariffs. Everyone was on TikTok, and we were now buying Gucci products at a digital economy. So it can really destabilize and change how an ecosystem is viewed. So if used properly, it really someone in China and import a product because you saw it on TikTok.
Online,
So there is a lot of power in the digital economy.
Indeed. I believe also we've seen your operations online, and and that is how, of course, we feel the impact as well that you bring on board.
Yes.
All right. So digital marketing is a promising career in Kenya due to the country's increasing internet connectivity and growing online economy, larger market potential, and more business tap into the potential of digital advertising. The overall market in Kenya is likely to expand. Now, the government of Kenya has recognized digitalization as a cornerstone of its economic strategy, with the Kenya's Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformative agenda build technologies into key sectors as essential for driving growth. Now, let's get now to the government. Earlier on, we had seen the impact on the bottom-up approach. Is a massive enlightenment towards everyone that wants to create business jobs for themselves. There was also a concern on the taxes, wale watu ambao wanapata mapesa kwa mitandao. Then was that. What will be your view in the government supporting the digital marketing, the digital economy, and the creative economy right here? There are many out there that have talent and want to maybe make an impact out of it, you know, monetary impact or any other impact. But they feel like government na serikali ingeweza kusaidia mambo mbili tatu, they would have made a benefit out of it. So what will be your take on the government incorporating towards all these foundations and to help people thrive in digital spaces and digital economy?
Government, bottom line is our leadership as a country. And no matter what the private and NGO sector, if we are not in the same room or we are not working together with the government, we tend to fail more than we succeed, because at the end of the day, the leaders we chose are our policy makers. Whether we like where they are or not, at the end of the day, an NGO cannot sign off on a policy by itself. They have to have the support of the government to be able to turn it into a policy or a bill or a law. So I feel I would urge more integration between the private sector and the government, and more looking into what is beneficial to the community. Government runs on taxes, that's true. But to what extent are you supposed to implement some of these policies? When you're implementing something, are you stifling your economy? Or are So I know the pinch that came in with the requirement for the, the boom taxes that were put on the digital creators. And I feel the pain for them came from, we made this economy ourselves. And then now you have to tax, and the tax margins are not making sense. They are too wide. At the end of the day, yes, they need to be taxed, and probably not directly to them because they are paying other forms of taxes. You question things such as, was there an evaluation of what tax is a content creator exposed to by the time they are receiving their check from YouTube, for example, or from TikTok? When you're formulating your tax structure, you can give like a relief because of the tax that they're already having to be taxed by another government. Because YouTube is a platform that is owned by. So I say the challenge here is, and I think some of the things the government wants to put in are good, but the execution is always the challenge, the thought process, because who doesn't know? There is no government that's not running on taxes. We are running on taxes, but the margins, the way we are implementing them, the way we are sensitizing, the way we are hiding certain things within these particular bills, or how we are, you're not even doing a sensitization session, you're just marketing and saying online, effective this day, a certain group will be taxed. Did you do even public awareness to understand this kind of conversations with them, So, and I'd say this is my own opinion, if more and more, if the government would accept to work with other sectors and work with them hand in hand, we would be able to the enemy is not each other. We want to. We can't have a country where one person is, I don't know, earning billions and another person can't even feed. And it's not because that person is not brilliant. It is the systems that have been put in place. So I'd say even now, specific to the creative sector, working hand in hand. If the government, I feel like and I would be biased because I am in the foundation sector, I feel like the foundation sector is always open, always open to hold hands with the government to implement, but sometimes in between those conversations, things do get watered down, and it forces the foundations to go ahead and by themselves. So for example, like Filamujani Foundation ends up implementing things isolated because when they approach a government entity, the process, the bureaucracy, tiresome. So you find a lot of us in this sector, we're implementing alone, while we are very much aware we would be 10 times better if we were implementing with the government. But when we approached, it became a challenge.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now I will give you place now to really speak to the government and the Ministry of Technology and Digital Economy and the Ministry of Art as well, to just share your views and your opinion on the concrete opinion, because of course you're an operations manager, you know how things run in the society and of course at a bit bigger levels. So take your time, of course, you can use this camera, then share your point.
All right, I would say that I have realized, and as I said before, that the government is doing 1 or 2, 3 things, but the challenge here is you're not publicizing or you're not doing public developing, and also the challenge around execution of these particular projects. So you roll out something and then halfway through it doesn't end, or when it ends the community is not sensitized. It creates a challenge for the community to interact with us. But more so, I'd say Yeah, I think that's just it. More better execution, better execution around projects, and more community engagement, so that by the time something is being developed, it is a reflection of the community and not just an idea of what we think might work. More community engagement will the creative sector and support us so that we're able to stand.
Yeah, I saw the president is also a creator as well in his digital platforms. You've seen that? The digital economy, of course, and the creative economy encompass various industries like artistic expression, design, entertainment, and digital media, which of course it's thriving right here in the Republic. The creative economy is seen as a driver of economic growth, social development, and cultural diversity, particularly in developing countries. Now, of course, we have industries that includes a wide range of industries, including but not limited to the arts, design, advertising, research and development, and various creative services. But a question will be raised, even as we raise the social development. It can also play a role in the social development by fostering cultural diversity, promoting innovation, and enhancing community well-being. But even as we speak happy right now, do you think that it pays?
Very good question. Talent can pay, and it has paid. It has paid people, but talent cannot pay because talent needs to be accompanied by discipline and hard work, just like any other sector. Please, let's not assume just because I am a talented rapper tomorrow I will stand in front of people and you need to understand the music business. If you are a rapper, you need to have the discipline to go into studio, make those horrible raps zenye unadhani ni nzuri until you have a masterpiece. You need to have the discipline to go and do promotion of your product, do events, attend such spaces where the public eye is. So talent can pay, and talent has paid. What do you mean? How many? Let's talk of people like Njugush, Feel It Production. But for them, even when you listen to them when they speak in interviews and spaces, they understood the concept of it goes beyond talent. Good, I'm talented. I can wake up and come up with very good skits that it on a daily, which is discipline. The people will not know of me. Yeah, if I don't have the business aspect of this, that I can't go into a room and negotiate for my worth, I will never be able to make bread.
So you'll employ people. You'll employ people to support your business.
Yes, so those are the things you need to do. You have to have the knowledge to know that if I am just a comedian and I don't have the ability to extend myself as a business person, do I look for a business partner or do I employ someone who is good in business so that we work together? If you're starting, there are so many of us who are young and we went to school, we did this e-commerce, we did business development, we did all those things, hatuna job, and you are a comedian, you have a talent. We can hold. I deal with all the business aspects of these things. You deal with the creative aspect. Together we have an opportunity that can create even employment for accountants. Think about your neighbor. Think about your neighbor as your ability as your way to utilize your talent to pay you. The quicker it is. If you look within a community, that is where the money is. The money is not in shillings yet, it is in knowledge. That neighbor of yours who went and did whatever course they did, that's the person you should be pairing up with and come up with businesses together.
When you're talking about talent, of course, now introducing the aspect on education. So how can we incorporate education in our talent to make sure that tuko na kitu
substantial
kitu nzito nzito.
But there I was saying, as I started, most of us, especially in this creative sector, we are big on the fact that we are talented. I know, but when you enter a classroom, you now see that you knew very little, because any economy to work goes. It's like, for example, I'm an innovator. I will always refer to the innovation space. I come up with a machine that can, for example, what can it do? Let's say it's a machine that can create coffee in seconds. So that's an innovation.
Indeed.
If I don't have the ability to market the product, I will not be able to make the sales.
Indeed.
I will not be able to do life-changing things for coffee lovers. So the thing here is talent is a good thing. You are like 10 steps ahead of people. But if you don't have discipline and a team that will help you to move forward, your talent utaishi na kusema you are
but they say working with
talented.
people is so ready to work peke yako kwanza, you establish.
No. But there's this saying they say, I'm not very good in saying, but I will try and say it. They say if you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go in a team. Because as a one person, there are times you get faint-hearted as a human being. There are times, hata kama you're good in 10 things, there are times you will, just human nature, because you're not a robot, uta fail in certain things. So the sooner you can learn working with people, it's not easy, but it is easy, is what I can say. Because I work with people a lot. It is not easy, but it is easy. It is easy when you learn to respect other people's worldviews. It is easy when you understand that we grew up in different backgrounds. It is easy when you understand that the people I am working with, are we heading in the same direction in life? Do we have the same vision? So that's the time it becomes.
Just because I didn't have a time to speak with you or to create an engagement, a meeting, then of course I gave you an option for the later date.
Yes.
That maybe you are say that it's so hard to work with you. How will you handle that? Because you work around so many people, and there are people that have mood swings that they need total concentration, attention in you to apatia. Then they say, people wanna work now is so hard, you don't give me attention, blah, blah, blah. How will you handle that?
For me, I would, they say the incident has happened. For me, I'm very straightforward, so I do go to people and I ask them, you are dissatisfied, and can we have a conversation? Because at this moment, when I refuse to give you the opportunity for us to engage, is because I had other things to tend. It's not a matter of you are not important. And you see, that's because probably where they've come from, every time they needed to talk to someone, they were given an open door. So they can't believe that you are not giving them an open door. So it's about having a conversation, and then they explaining where they are coming from, and you guys are able to find a middle ground. Because again, I said we come from different backgrounds, worldviews, we have different experiences, traumas, so we look at life differently. So at that moment, I would have a conversation with them and help them understand.
All right.
Yeah.
Understanding is the key word there. So, of course, I believe now we're getting to the bottom line. You need to really, you've shaped a lot about the impact in the society, the government, and everything, integration, about digital economy, digital marketing. But we haven't touched on the challenging factor within the foundation, within the community. Ama maisha London in a flow. Oh, you want scholarships? You guys, come on board. Let's do this. Let's work on these. And as you answer that question, when you're maybe in campus or in high school, as a
So my background is in mass communication with a minor in film. So I am totally in the film sector. I am a creative.
So what do you do? What was your creation in high school?
We used to do short films and short films, content. I even tried the content creation journey. I'm a failed many things. I'm a failed founder. I'm a failed YouTube content creator. I had tried that journey. I'm a failed talk show host.
Indeed.
I have tried most of those things, and that's why, and I wouldn't say nimefika, but I'm feeling home in the work that I'm doing today. I'm more and more realizing I'm into impact, I'm more into what I do, so long as it is like the kind of impact I want to support is within the creative ecosystem. Yeah, so I have done all those things. Nimekuwa hadi event organizer. Pay and they come, and that also didn't go well. So
hope you have one.
Maybe in the horizon. Yeah.
So what's the challenging factor that comes in it within the foundation, and getting these youths to come to your foundation? Has it been a challenge? Ama kumekuwa namna gani? What is the challenge in it?
Challenge ni mingi, hata naziandika ndio nisisahau.
Okay.
So the challenges have been there. Number one challenge is we are big on offering scholarship. That is our core way of approaching business. We like to fundraise, and then from the fundraising we have gotten, we're able to teach, train. Hey, fundraising is not easy. Even if you are a credible name within the industry, the fundraising space is quite a challenge. It's not an easy. The evaluation of your credibility, it's quite tasking. Knowing who to go to, because people say there's so many people who can fund, but again, the people who fund, they fund based on what are their core values. For example, someone who is in the agriculture business, they might have a lot of money, even they can tell you, come, let's have a conversation. But as soon as they realize you're in the creative economy, not agriculture, it kinda not aligns with with their interest. Because most of the time, CSR projects by some of these private sector have to be in relation to their strategy. So fundraising is not, it's been quite a headache. Another one is we don't, as people who are adding more depression to the youth by just training. So this other aspect that has come into the organization, where we are keen on job creation and job to make job, also has been a huge challenge for us, trying to build that aspect. We have taken it upon ourselves to build a platform called Enea, which will be connecting small businesses to this talent. There's so many those challenges that come in. You paid a photographer, they didn't show up. You paid deposit, akaenda akapoteza footage na ameogopa kusema. So we've realized those are some of the challenges that our alumni and the small businesses are experiencing. So we've taken up ourselves to build a platform that a small business can come and they use our credibility as an organization to engage the alumni.
I think we'll engage these alumni and to talk to them about that condition.
Job creation.
What's the future looking like?
The future? The future for Filamu is, I think it intertwines to what I was just talking about. Please allow me to just highlight one more. I go to the future. So when we started this work, we didn't realize how big, when an economy is not doing so well, people are stressed, life is not working. If people don't have money in their pockets, stress iko juu, you have bills. So majority of the students who end up in our training are experiencing major mental health concerns. So those have been like the three key challenges we've been experiencing. Our future. Our future now is to expand to different counties. We have started moving. We're going to Mombasa, we're going to go to Nakuru, we're going to go to Turkana. Just to continue in twofold, training the youth in filmmaking, and the way we do it is they can transition, be able to job create. So we are looking for more and more partners who can take on these students we are training, like the way Lookup has, and have them work in their stations or in their business.
So where are we I'd like now to see how you do the Go Happy thing. So you can just come here, then because my doba is not working, so that means I'll just sing for you. Then
you sing for me and then I dance.
Let's do that. So it's the song that goes Go Happy. You know that song? Have you seen it online?
But it's not my birthday.
It's trending, yeah?
It's not my birthday.
I said go happy. You know that song?
I don't know.
So you walk like a boss, the operations manager right there.
Oh, it's walking, not dancing, right?
Yeah, it's just walking. Go happy. Go
I'm walking
happy.
towards you, right? This is so weird.
This is nice, no? All right,
Yeah.
so I want you to give some shout outs to that camera then.
All right, shout outs.
Landing here.
The director shout
The
outs.
director, indeed.
All right. So yeah, thank you first of all for having us, and we appreciate you, the partnership we have with you are being able to work within your organization, like Dante Max, who's one of your director. We have Newton, who are in the camera operations.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. And yeah,
There's Tergat.
Tergat
Yeah,
also,
Tergat,
like
yeah.
there's so many. You
Okay.
guys have been quite supportive in ensuring our youths are getting a place to start their careers.
Indeed.
And to all the other partners out there who are supporting the work we're doing in Filamu Juani, and all the people who've been applying for our programs, we see you. We're going to continue to fundraise like crazy people until we have enough funds to train all the almost 3,000 people who keep applying for our programs.
All right.
And yeah, thank you to my team. I have to thank my team. It is without the work that you guys wake up every day and do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Happy Kennedy, for coming. It's a pleasure indeed.
All right.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is how we wind up the session right here on the Social Wednesday and really understanding creation and of course digital economy right in the Republic. And of course there's so much talent out there, so let's keep the tags rolling because there's such an empowerment to the greater best. Of course, we not much ado, of course, see you tomorrow. We are hosting one of a kind, the Color Alchemist, and ambaye ataweza kutuonyesha ubunifu wake na what he really does. Keep tags rolling because this is only, and above all, thank you for the entire fraternity. See you tomorrow. Thank you.